Okay, I'm going to start with this. Ta-da! Ta-da! Tyler, ta-da!
Oh, man.
I love this picture. I love this picture. Three-peat, three-peat, three-peat. So as you sit here the day before the race, you know that song, Under Pressure, Under Pressure, because you're off to such a good start, but no one has done for. So how are you feeling as you sit here today?
I feel really good.
do?
You know, it's just, obviously all the success over the last 3 weeks has been an incredible ride. But the part that, for me, that makes me feel really good is our preparation, the mindset that we continue to have. We're staying hungry, we're staying focused. The work that we're putting in during the week, even though it's been more limited with all the craziness going on, when we've been there, when I've been there, everyone's been locked in, and I'm feeling good about how we've been getting this going this year.
And what about you, Denny? I'm very fascinated with your dynamic in particular, because you all are also teammates, but you're also competitors.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get behind the wheel, who are you rooting for? JGR, or are you rooting for 2311?
It's a good question. I always say hope these guys finish second on any given week. That'd be the ideal scenario for me because, you know, I'm greedy. But, you know, I only have a certain amount of time to do this as a competitor, so I want to accomplish all the goals that I can accomplish personally. But while that's going on, I know that the process to build this into a championship organization takes a long time. So we're putting all the building blocks together, and I think it's all really going to come together right as soon as I'm done racing, and then I'm all in on, you know, getting these guys all the wins they can get. But they do it. They're the ones that go out there and compete each week. It's up for me and him to get them all the tools they need to succeed, but they're the ones that actually get it done.
I know, but this is, guys, what I hear about athletes. I asked once Venus and Serena, when you know it's your sister on the other side of the court, is there a part of you that lets up a little bit because it's your sister, and both of them said, no, we both want to beat the other? And so I wonder what it's like, the dynamic for you with him.
Well, you can probably show this in a highlight, but I actually wiped out one of the 2311 cars for a win last year. On the final lap.
And he got a phone call from me.
Yeah. What did you say, Michael?
We also got
I
together
said,
here.
look, I know
racing
you
for
want
the
to
lead
win,
2
but
years
you
ago.
know, race fairly. Yeah, I didn't think he raced fairly, but he kept trying to convince me that he did. I said, bull, no way. I know you're competitive. I probably would have thought the same thing.
Comes from the guy who says he's so competitive that it's a curse. So you can understand why he did what he did.
I understood it. I can also understand when he was lying too.
Well, I have to listen. I'm in a unique situation because I have to look at the eyes of the employees of Joe Gibbs Racing and my team, and
Yes.
they have to know that when
you're
I'm
all
out
in
there,
too.
I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, no matter which race cars I'm racing against. Now, the downside of that is also we're all part of a Toyota family that matters as well, and the difficult part is neither one of the Toyotas won. So it's a fine balance. I've only got a few more years that I've got to ride that balance, but this is my future.
For many people, though, their first introduction to NASCAR, I know it's a storied sport, I know that, but for many people, they're looking at it for the first time, and they have judgments about it, the stigma associated with NASCAR. First, tell us what you all think the stigma is and how you believe that's changing. Michael, you start.
Well, I mean, it's very obvious. I mean, it used to have the Confederate flag. You had a lot of racism tied to NASCAR as a whole. I think it's been gradually changing, maybe not as fast as the world has changed. I think where we sit right now as 2311, and obviously what we actually fought for, it's happening hopefully more rapidly than that. You know, that's what we want it to be. And I think the more that you try to, you know, it becomes more of a global sport or something that people are gonna attract themselves to that, it has to rapidly change. You have to be able to connect to all colors, all different types of people. And I think NASCAR with this last fight seems to understand that a little bit. I think their energy now is to try to do that, and I didn't think you need 2311 to sue you to do that. I felt like, you know, they were slow rolling the process. You know, financially, you know, it was rewarding for them, and it's hard. Change is hard when for 77 years you've been doing the same things forever. You know, and to ask to change now, I think in some ways you're forcing them to do it, and I think this is what is needed for this sport to progress.
Yeah. Denny, do you see the change? You've been in it a
Well,
long time.
yeah, I've been
Mr.
in it.
Veteran, top racer. Yeah.
I've been in it for many decades now, so yeah, I've seen the change, and there's absolutely a change, and to push, whether it be more races to the West Coast, there's a push internationally. We want to be, multicultural sporting event, and you're really seeing it in the stands each and every week now, in the pit area, from the guys that work on the cars to now the people, the race fans that watch us. It's no one particular type. We open ourselves up to everyone, and you've seen some of the groundbreaking things that NASCAR has done over the last few years, bringing a street race to the streets of Chicago. Like, that's something that would never have been done, and the push behind that was essentially to bring NASCAR racing to an audience that necessarily hasn't seen us before, and open it up, and they saw it with the ticket sales of how many people this was their first event, and events like that is going to continue to build our fan base much wider and much more diverse.
That's got to make you guys feel good to see the change, and that you are such an important part of the change. That's got to be very gratifying.
No question about it, and I think we do it within our own walls as well. We make sure that we give everyone opportunities to go out there and succeed. We hire the best people as possible, and a lot of the people that we bring into the sport are new to the sport. A lot of the kind of the things that happen with our sport is you can typically get people that are just, bounce from one team to the next team and just go on and on. Where when we look at different resumes, we're like, well, who can bring in new thinking, new ideas? We wanted to be kind of the team that thought outside the box, and I think that's really some of the success is getting those new ideas.
Yeah, so talk about thinking outside the box. How did this partnership come about? Did you call him? Did he call you? What happened? I don't know the backstory.
I'll never forget. I saw an article that wasn't true. It says Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan are looking to purchase a NASCAR team.
It wasn't true?
No, I was looking to purchase a stake in a NASCAR team. I wasn't going to get the control that I wanted because it was just a small chunk I was looking for. But I saw the article, sent it to him. He says, not real, but if you want to make it real, let me know.
Wow. Did you guys know each other?
Yeah, so we had a friendship for about 10, 12 years. He had his security guys pull me aside at a Charlotte Hornets game. We talked racing during halftime. He got my number. We started chatting, and next thing you know, he's doing my shoes, doing my gloves, all those things. So we just had a friendship for about a decade.
Yes.
And then COVID happened, and I realized if this is what retirement's like, I'm going to have to find something to do. I can't golf every day. So I said, I think owning a NASCAR team is the right move for me. I know something about the sport. I just need the right partner if I'm going to do it on my own. And of course, I say, well, here's this opportunity. He says, I'm in.
I know, but Michael, you say, I just put up the money, but it's so much more than that. Isn't it, Denny and Tyler? It's so much more than putting up. Talk about that, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean,
because one of the guys told me when I was coming in, it used to be, oh, it's Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. Now they go, oh, there's Michael.
I don't know who said that, but every time that Michael is around, we absolutely love and cherish it. What he, there's so much more than
the money.
And I think back to moments that we've shared in the hauler before the race, or the meetings that we've had at airspeed. The way that he makes himself available to us, and we're able to sit down, have discussions, whether it's a few of us or leadership or across more of the team, just the insight and knowledge he's able to share with us from his experiences, one, motivate the hell out of us. I mean, you're ready to run through a wall, first off. But then two, hearing a champion, a winner, a legend tell you these things, and it's like, oh, wow, we're not that far off. A few adjustments and we're right there. Being able to have insight from him, and then someone like Denny, right, who's been in the sport as long as he has, knows everything he knows about racing. Just having leaders like this make themselves available the way that they do to everyone at 2311 pushes us in the right direction.
You know what it feels like to me, Tyler? It feels like the perfect storm of awesome. That you have him, you have him, you have you. Doesn't it feel like that?
It's an unfair advantage because,
Yes.
it really is, because you know, we're invested, right? It's our resources that gives them what they need. But I'm able to sit in the meetings with them on Mondays, hear what they're saying about the cars. I was in the same race. So then I know how to designate the resources to the proper areas. So that's the unfair advantage.
That
No
feels like
owners-
insider information,
No,
Mr.
There's no
Hamlin.
other owners.
It
that-
feels like it, Michael.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, this is a unique scenario. I mean, the thing is that I think why I got involved in this was, you know, I know the sport from afar. My passion for the sport is really strong. But then I start learning some of the things within the sport from Denny, you know, from people that work with the 2311 team, and then I apply that to athletes, you know, from Tyler to Bubba to Riley Herbst, you know, it's a mindset. Where I add to this team is the mindset of what it takes to win, right? And I challenge them. You know, I talk trash to them. I give scenarios that I want them to think about, you know, what it takes to be a winner, you know. And the thing about what it takes to be a winner is once you win, the expectations are that you're going to win again, and then again, and then again. To me, that's the thing that he's going to have to deal with this weekend. You know, I expect you to win. You won 3 times already. Why not win it 4?
That's right, Tyler. Why not make it
So
4?
So that's so.
I have
It's not
something
just
to say
him.
about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know he does. but the team should think that same way too. You know, I
Yes.
talked to Billy Scott. I talked to Charles tonight. I talked to all the.
That's your crew.
And I try to pick their brains.
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to do today? How does it look today?
But I like what you said, Michael, the mindset of a winner. I try to give them the mindset of a winner, which is what? The mindset of a winner.
First of all, you got to believe in yourself. You got to have a passion. You got to put forth the work. I sent them a video the other day of discipline. You know, discipline means you have to really decide on that you want to be a winner. And when someone tries to take you to go do things that's not focused on being a winner, you have to be disciplined to say, you know what, I got to stay to what I have to do. I asked him each and every week, how was the sim? You know, because that starts
How was the who?
the simulator.
Oh, simulator. Okay.
So they got to go through the simulator during the
got
course
it.
of the week of the track and set up the cars and things. To me, if he's starting that whole process before Sunday, to me that's a process. That is you know, a winner. And for people who skip those steps and think they just show up on Sunday,
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with them.
Denny,
I don't think Denny does either.
I've always said, you know, put me around Hall of Fame teammates because I'm going to learn something from each one of them. I never feel like, you know, even 20-some years into this, that I'm done learning. Every week I'm learning something new, and I'm trying to transfer that knowledge over to them so their learning curve is slightly shorter than what I had. So
I know, Denny, I so believe this. I want to work with people who are better than me.
Absolutely.
Because it forces me to raise my game. And I also learn in the process too. I don't care how good you are. I always think there's something to learn, always.
Well, I just think, I think about back at one of his quotes that I never asked these guys to do anything that I'm not going to do myself. And, you know, while I give them the playbook of here's how I prepare, here's what I look for, it's up to them to want it. They're going to have to want it to get to the next step.
Sure.
So, Tyler, how do you handle the pressure?
I mean, for me, I think soak in the moments in victory lane, the moments with my family, the reward of all that hard work, getting the result you want. And, you know, I think for me, in a lot of ways, how 2025 went for me as a driver, for us as the 45 team, not getting to victory lane, I think in a lot of ways, you know, I have a lot of reasons to be motivated to go win for, you know, winning 4 in a row, winning for these 2 guys sitting here with me, for my son, for my family, but also because of how hard 2025 was, career-wise, personally, I got to make the most of it. You know, multiple times throughout the tail end of that year, I didn't know if I was going to be in the car. And so just make every lap count, make every moment count, because it could be done before you know it. Might as well make the most of it.
Yeah, I'm so glad Rookie's okay, by the way. I love the fact that you went through it, but you came out on the other side, and how all of you all support you, because you've all had unspeakable tragedies in your life. you all supported each other during that time.
Yeah,
And
they've given me great support throughout it all. I mean,
they even said if you need to take time off,
Yeah,
don't
I
feel
mean-
you need to race.
yeah, I mean,
And Tyler, they actually meant it. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Now, Michael
Yes.
telling me, hey, if you need to sit out or if it, goes a certain way and you can't get back in the car, we have your back 100%. And that
Yeah.
gave me so much comfort and ease to be able to just completely focus on rookie, focus on helping my wife.
And now they're at the finish line.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I just at the Daytona 500, staying there in victory lane, I get out of the car, everyone's there, we're all celebrating, and it's just the most perfect picture. I see my
Yeah.
wife standing there,
Yeah.
and in her arms is my son Rookie, happy, healthy, smiling, just
Yes.
loving
Crawling.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Billie Jean King once said that pressure is privilege, and I think that's true. Having pressure is a privilege. Do you agree with that?
I agree. It's
I like
especially
that.
in NASCAR that it's made in these certain moments where you have to make instinctual decisions on whether you're going to hit that gap or that gap, and but that is a privilege. When you're running 10th, ain't no pressure to that. The pressure is on that final restart, going for a race win, holding off one of the best in SVG on a road course. Like that's pressure. And what I saw out of Tyler at Circuit of the Americas, holding off one of the best, staying disciplined to himself, like that's what I saw in him for so many years.
Yeah. Tell me, guys, what race day is like for each of you. What do you do on race day? Because you reach out to all of your your drivers, to
Oh,
your
yeah.
team. What do you do, Denny? What do you do, Tyler? What do you do?
Well,
on race
I
day?
check on them. I check on them, check the mentality of the drivers, crew chiefs. I just try to see what their mindset is for the beginning of the day. And look, I can be anywhere in the world. I text them, just, hey, how's your day? How was your last night? Are you ready? We're gonna go out and get this. Those types of things. And to me, I just want them to know, even if I'm not there, I'm there.
I'm there, Denny.
I'm there 100%.
Race day for you?
I'm in a difficult spot. Have I mentioned that?
No sympathy for you, Ms.
Here's
Hamlin.
what I hope, right?
Yes.
I really hope in the long term these guys continue to win after I'm done racing, because I can't fully enjoy it, because the competitor in me knows that if I'm going to victory lane and I'm celebrating with my team, there is a portion of me that lost, right? So I want this success to be going on for decades. I want to be able to enjoy these to the fullest. And so it's very, very difficult for me. On race day, I rarely check in with them. The only time
I was wondering if you guys.
the
speak on
only
race day.
time I really check in usually is after practice. I'll look at the analytics. I'll look at some things to see, are these guys struggling or not? If they are, then I'll offer some more insights to maybe what I'm doing on
Or
that
stealing some of our stuff. We got the pole.
That too. They're awful fast. I'm learning as much as I'm giving information with these guys nowadays. But it's just we're so into our pre-race routine. You wake up, you shower, you eat, you got some appearances. It's so different than other sports. The access
I can't
for our
wait.
sponsors and partners. You're shaking hands, doing pictures right outside the race car. So that's like, right before going onto the court, like you're having to do meet and greets. But that's what makes this sport so different, is the access that our fans and our partners have.
Which is the reason why it's lopsided.
Yeah.
They do a lot
Yeah.
of work and get compensated for less.
Yeah.
But Tyler, you're competing against your boss.
Yeah, no, it's,
So is there a part of you that goes, I'm going to get him, or is there a part of you that's, well,
Oh, there's got to be a
we,
little
oh yeah, no,
satisfaction.
yeah,
it
there
is
has
fun.
to be, yes, yes.
Kick his ass.
Yes, yes.
No, whenever I get to race around Denny, it's a lot of fun because we've been able to have, multiple conversations, many conversations where we talk about the racecraft. Whether that's racing other cars or driving your own car or making the tires last or finding ways to find more speed. We're able to have these conversations and have I feel like a heightened understanding of each other as drivers, almost like you would, like me and Bubba as teammates. And so
Yes,
whenever we
that's
get
the other
out there
thing.
on the racetrack around each other, it's just always, I always kind of look at it as like, all right, what's Denny, what kind of game?
I feel like
am
I'm
gonna get
racing
from Denny?
myself.
Do you?
I do, because I'm like, I've been racing side by side with him many times, and I'm like, dude is using the technique I
Yeah.
told him, and I couldn't get
Richmond,
around
right?
him. Yeah,
Richmond.
Yeah.
whenever I'm running him down at Richmond or he's running me down at Richmond, he's like, when I've been able to run you down at Richmond, it's like super rewarding because
Yes.
I was so bad there, so bad.
I want to get back to trash talking for a second because you are such a master. What is your great trash talk line to him?
Oh.
Denny and Tyler. I would like to know, how do you trash talk Michael?
I got work to
Michael
do.
Jordan.
I got work to do. I ain't got one.
Denny, I think you've gotten it.
I mean, yes. I mean,
Yes.
he's always gonna one-up me with the championships and things like that.
True.
But
That's reality.
But when we go to a neutral sport like golf or something,
We do have battles. We do
we're
have
on a
battles.
level playing field at that point.
because
So
I don't think you can trash talk in NASCAR because on basketball you guys are physically, but in NASCAR you're each in your own individual cars. So
Oh,
you
they can
can't really-
fight. They can fight after the car. After
okay.
some of the stuff. I mean, that was part of NASCAR back in the day. That was a part of the beauty of you see
Getting
the
out and
competition between the
fighting.
two drivers. Yeah, they still do that. They still have that. You can hear. I listen to them on the radio.
I feel,
And?
I feel like in the way that you drive, you can pick and choose. You can really do someone dirty on the racetrack,
Yes.
holding them up, putting them in a really bad spot. Like we may not be able to say it in the moment, but we say it with how we drive on the
Yes.
racetrack.
there's no question about it. Even though we are not nose to nose in battle,
Yes.
we're
Yes.
sheltered by our cars. There's still ways to use mental strategy to get in people's head. It's you're on the last restart, and I know the tendencies of all these drivers, and I know how to use their strengths against them in certain situations and leverage myself over them. And that, to me, that is the ultimate currency of trash talking, is knowing that I can
But you
take
can't
someone's
use that
advantage.
against me.
No, I know.
That's the sad part about it.
I got to win
You
one
can't do
time.
that.
You and Larson were doing that, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to know, what do the three of you all know about winning that a lot of people don't?
It comes with sacrifice.
Yes.
You're going to sacrifice something.
Yes. It's infectious. You win, you got an unbelievable building. Everybody's happy. When you lose, there's a sadness within the building, which is necessary.
Yeah.
Because when you lose, you want to be sad.
People say at this level you learn more from your fails than your
100%. I agree with that.
you learn more from your losses than your wins. You
Yes.
agree?
Yes, 100%.
Without a question.
You agree?
Yes. But I think that the desire of that feeling of winning, you want every weekend. And that's part of the motivation. That is part of the motivation. And it gets harder every time you win.
Is there a downside to competition, to being this competitive?
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I think, for me,
I think it can take its toll on relationships.
yeah.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that, when you have such a passion for winning, something has to take a back seat.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
'cause-
And sometimes
agree.
it's your competitors. It's your friends that are on the racetrack that you're racing against, and or it's a Bubba Wallace at the end of Kansas. Like it's
Yes.
when you really have the passion to want to win and you have that fire, sometimes it's going to come at some others' expenses.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. I agree.
I did think this was fun about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is saving NASCAR. Hell yeah. Honestly, he's been a breath of fresh air and great for NASCAR. Love his enthusiasm and passion for the sport. If Michael thinks it's good, I think it's good too. I'm doing a crash course. Now I know everything. These are people online. Any student of Jordan knows he turns passion into winning in very short order. You think that's true? They say that there's more Jordans on the track these days. True?
There's
True.
no
Done a
question
lot.
about that.
Transformation in the garage. It's been awesome to see.
It's really ironic. I have more drivers asking to have shoes made.
Whoa.
We make shoes for Ryan Blaney. We make shoes for Kyle Larson.
Whoa.
Bush wanted.
You like my shoes?
I love your shoes, actually.
Aren't these cute?
Yes.
You're all fathers. I'm curious too, what you teach your kids about competition, victory, and defeat.
I can tell you this. My kids are right out here in Phoenix on Pit Road, right in that spot, come to me crying after we lost the championship last year. And they said that this is not fair. I said, this is life. It is not, you're right, it's not fair. But this is a lesson that things are not always going to go as you think. Even when you think that it's going to go a certain way, life's going to throw you wrenches. And how do you respond to that? And so that was the first time I saw my kids distraught and really upset with the outcome of a race. I mean, there's been many times I've been on fire and crashed and burned. I come in the bus and they're arguing over popsicles or something. Right? They could care less. But that one stung them. But I just said this was a good opportunity to learn a lesson on that
Denny.
nothing is given.
Yes, this is life. Michael?
Well, I mean,
How do you teach your children?
my kids, it's expectations, right? You know, because they grew up in a household where success is, rapidly, walking around the house all day long. The thing is that, there's expectations. And the only expectations I ever ask of any one of my kids is their own expectations. You can never live up to everyone else's expectations. It's virtually impossible. So you have to set your own expectations and live up to those. And if you achieve those, you should be smiling, you should be happy. But you're never gonna live up to everyone else's expectations.
God, that's so true.
Yeah.
Tyler, you've still got little ones.
Yeah, I've done my best to, we've been able to, Bo and Rookie's really young still, but Bo is old enough to know what's going on and understand, at a pretty good level what racing is. And I just, with him, I try to convey it as much as possible in the hard moments, in the victories, the work, the sacrifice that goes into it, right? Yes, you're seeing that I won the pole for this race, or I won this race on Sunday, or we won 3 in a row. But I always try to remind him, like, there's a lot of work, dedication that goes into it. It didn't just happen.
Didn't just happen.
25 years of driving race cars. Yes, we're having these moments now, but 25 years of work, 25 years of doing everything I could to learn is what goes, just making sure he understands that commitment of how hard you got to work. And constantly be willing to learn and change, right? A couple years ago, we go to a road course and we'd be fast, we win races. Shane comes in and screws it all up. He's just dominating. It's like, back to work. Am I going to be okay with just being a 3rd, 4th place guy, or am I going to go to work and get back to being in 1st place? And so that's what you got to be willing to do.
Yeah.
The work never stops. Perfect is, I don't know if perfect's obtainable, but you got to chase it every day, every week.
Well, I know you just met me 10 minutes ago, but I'm delightful and a good luck charm. I'm betting on you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Over Denny? You're just rubbing it all in his face.
No.
Oh, wow, I love it. I love it.
I'm not scared of you, Denny.
Denny was amazing
He's
here
3.
last fall. He was.
No, he's good here.
he was
He's
so
good
good.
here.
No,
Denny's-
he's very good. I
he's
know
good
he's a
here.
legend. I know it. Okay, rapid fire. Who got the last speeding ticket?
It's been like 12 years for me.
That's
You don't remember. What does yellow light mean to you? Slow down, speed up.
got to get through it.
Speed up.
Depends if it's me or if I got the kids in the car.
That's good. That's so
You mean
true.
the wife in the car?
If it's just me and Alexa in the car,
Kids in the car.
I'm hitting
That
the
is
gas.
so
I'm
true
hitting the
because
gas.
I
we're probably
changed
a little behind.
I did that too. If I had the kids in the car, then I would stop. I got it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite driving song? You're in the car and you crank it up full blast when you're in the car.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I've just heard it recently, Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots. Whenever I'm in the car, that one's.
Cranked up. What's your favorite driving song, Michael Jordan?
Anything with Bruno Mars.
Oh, I know his new album is so
Anything
good.
with Bruno Mars.
Denny,
Oh, gosh. I'm going to go
you get in the car and it comes on, you crank it up.
Morgan Wallen. I'm not sure what.
Who controls the radio, driver or passenger?
In my car? Driver.
Oh, yeah, driver.
And who's driving?
Me.
Me.
I prefer to drive.
Between the 3 of you, who's most likely to get a speeding ticket?
No, I can talk my way out of a ticket. You guys got
Yeah,
problems.
we can't.
I know a lot of people.
If you were on a
I haven't
level,
had a ticket in I don't
if
know how
you were on a
long.
level playing field,
That's virtually impossible.
I feel like you don't drive
No,
that
Denny,
fast.
this is good.
Speed limit guy.
Next,
right?
most likely to talk the officer out of giving a ticket is.
See what I mean? There you go.
The greatest movie about racing is.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
I'm a Days of Thunder fan just
Oh,
because.
me too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
So iconic.
Yes.
It got the lifestyle. The lifestyle was right at the time.
The first car I ever drove was.
Volkswagen.
Ford Ranger Splash
Ooh.
pickup truck. I got it from my brother.
I think it was just in the driveway. It was I think it was like a '67 Ford Mustang. My dad had it at the time.
Oh, cool.
You stole it, didn't you?
I wanted to so bad. He sold it before I turned 16. I was so mad at him for that.
When my wife is driving, I always
Pay attention.
Yes.
I pay attention. I put my seatbelt on and I pay attention.
When we
Danny?
approach a corner, my hands go out.
when my wife
I don't get it. Why does it have to be all gas or all brake? Like, can't we have a coasting period?
Alexa, I try and tell her, like, I tell her, like, I drive race cars for a living, but, like, I've never cornered as fast as I do when she's driving the car. Like, I'm like this.
I get it from
making
my mom.
45
She's a fast
corners.
driver.
Just,
How do you envision 2311 fitting into your legacy?
My legacy?
Your legacy.
Oh, wow. It's a part of it. I think to me it's a very genuine part because I live vicariously through these gentlemen. You know, I don't drive. You know, my mindset is what I benefit or I support the team with. But, you know, it shows that you don't have to be a active participant to be a part of the team and be a part of the success. So it will be a unbelievable part of my legacy.
And Denny, your dream for 2311 is?
I mean, 2311 is a microcosm of my life and how blessed that I am, right? Is that I get to have drivers like Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace and Riley continue the legacy of driving long after I'm done doing it. But also get to have him as a business partner in this. And I told these guys the responsibilities that we have to bring him joy, like that's something that we all take very, very seriously.
You say that to the team? We
Yes,
have to bring him
it's
joy.
just like look at his reaction after race wins. That's something that's never been documented. I don't know that it's ever been documented how excited he's been. But like that's something that we should take seriously is having the responsibility to bring him joy at this point of his life, right? Where he doesn't get to go do it himself anymore.
Yes.
So for me, I just think of how blessed I am to have this team, to be able to know that when I'm done driving, I'm able to enjoy it as much as he is right now. That's just fantastic.
Denny, that's so beautifully said. To make Michael Jordan smile, that's pretty good.
It's a big responsibility.
Let's end with this, Michael. You've done so much. Are you satisfied with your life's work and legacy?
Yes,
You are.
I am. I wouldn't change a thing. You know, the thing is that if I change one thing, me sitting right here may not be the same. You know, so I live with my mistakes. I live with all the lessons that I've learned, and I've been blessed with friendships, with partners, with teammates, coaches, whatever. I would not change a thing. And
What a feeling.
if it ends today, I will have a smile on my face, 100%.
Were you as excited to see me as I was to see you?
Yes. That was a long flight. I couldn't believe it.